Welcome everyone to my YouTube channel. The topic for today's discussion is what happens when you awaken to your spirituality in a non-spiritual environment. Before we dive into this topic, let us try to first understand what spirituality really is. People often confuse this for following all rituals religiously, attending religious gatherings, doing charity to look good amongst their peers, being good or conforming to the norm at all times, even when it hurts. However, spirituality is quite the opposite of this. It is a journey inwards to discover who you truly are, often spending quiet time reflecting in isolation on why you are here. What is your purpose? What are your strengths? Identifying and overcoming your weaknesses to become the best version of yourself. Learning what matters and what doesn't. Spirituality helps us see with clarity what is true and what is fake, so we can gather the confidence to stand up for our beliefs, even if everyone around us thinks it is wrong. This is not a path for the faint of the heart and requires tremendous strength. You end up becoming the black swan and often an outcast. Now, what else would you expect when you wake up amongst people who are asleep? What happens when you become vocal among those who have no voice and believe in conformity? What happens when you dare to go against the society which is happily following the blind? There will be dire consequences, isn't it? People will isolate you, put false allegations, blame you for things you did not do, abuse you mentally and emotionally, all because you are ahead of the curve. Your thoughts are too radical for them. They want to punish you for going against the norm. They are afraid of you. They will ensure that you do not get any support from anyone on this journey, and in the process become an agent for change, which will bring them even more trouble. They want to break you completely for having the guts to retaliate. All kinds of manipulations, tricks, games are played to finish you off, quite literally. You, on the other hand, cannot go back to being your old self after awakening from your slumber. The illusion of all relationships which you called your own and which were the foundation of your being start to frizzle in front of you. As you look back, you see a trend of their selfishness, without any hesitation sacrificing you all along. They were always looking out for themselves. Your welfare was never on their agenda. In fact, they were looking for ways to use you. You are lucky if you can count even one well-wisher in this crowd. This is how tragic it gets. So you're left with no choice, and for your sanity, you start cutting cords with everything that was familiar to you, your family, your job, your friends, etc. For no one can ever heal in the same place that hurts you or inflicts so much pain on you. The unending negativity of the people or situations around you only drags you down further, trying to convert you to become one like them, and kills the dream of ever becoming a better version of yourself. So after cutting all these traumatic cords and building boundaries, you live in isolation to work on yourself until you feel complete in being yourself. This is the time for self-discovery. You initially feel used, are sad, feel sorry for yourself, get upset for letting others take advantage of you, for not setting boundaries, not thinking about your welfare, not walking away when you should have, for not clearly seeing who is truly yours and who is not. Why is it that you never spoke up when you should have? For loving those who did not deserve your love, for not knowing what a crazy place this world is, how you struggle to fit in an absolutely unfit society. You shed some tears. Give yourself enough time to heal from this trauma, sickness, and disease. Eventually, as the old falls, you start to build space for new to enter. What bothered you before seems to not matter anymore. Those without whom your life was incomplete have no place in your life anymore. What defined you before loses its meaning. From a place of pain, grief, sadness, and hurt emerges a person who's complete in their own being, content with their strength and at peace with their flaws. Someone who's just fine living a life which is authentic to them, not needing any validation or support from the outside. Happy in this newfound freedom, breaking away from the shackles that once held them back. As the grip of those around them loosen, they surrender to the power beyond them. Help comes in form of guidance through knowledge which they were unaware of. Abilities that are beyond the five senses, supportive environment and people who encourage them to follow their calling. And slowly the struggles that they endured alone seem to be left far behind. With no regrets left, no complaints, they move peacefully and content to embrace a new life which awaits them. Their newfound wisdom now becomes a beacon of light to inspire others. One candle, they say, is enough to light up an entire dark room. Would it not be nice to have many amongst us awaken their spirituality and transform their pain into finding the power of the self? God created us in His image not to suffer, but to find and spread happiness. We disregard Him and His creation if we continue to live in misery. May your spiritual path be filled with light, love, and blessings to you, my friends.